Hey guys, Chris here again. Making Comics Day 17 out of 100. Coming at you from my living room. How you doing? Here I am, just finishing up on working on some comics here. Currently penciling in page 6 of Legend of Rock, which you guys saw me working on the other day. Now that the crowdfund is up and all ready to go, you can off you go and pledge to it, and just tweaking and thanking people. Finally got some time to get onto this. I've got a little bit of client work which I'm going to get onto straight after this video again. But as listening to one of Kevin Cross's videos, suggested that it's usually better to work on your own projects first, when just that drive's still there and you're not sort of tapped out creatively. Whereas working on client stuff, it's sort of a little bit more, it's not focused on what you want to do. You're really driven by what the client wants. So sort of trying that out, do my stuff first, then do the client stuff later, which I was doing it the other way around. I'm not sure which one's better for me. Obviously things are different for everyone, but I'll try it for the next couple of days and sort of see if this works out better for me as far as my productivity goes, or if doing it later works out better. I suppose I also got to try and work out some time management here as well. I'm still trying to spend a little bit of time with my partner, play with the dog and have dinner and clean up the house a little bit. By the time I get home from work, there's still a lot to do. So it's always hard to find a good balance. I suppose I've never really sort of found that perfect balance, but I'll get there. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm sort of enjoying what I'm doing and things get done, it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So I'll show you guys what I've been up to. So as you can see here, these are the original rough layouts that I did a couple of days ago that I showed you when I did the next few pages. So again, this is really rough. What I've done now is I've changed the colour of all the line work to a blue, and I've also just sort of blocked in where the panels are actually going to be, so I don't end up going over any lines, because then I'll be adding them in when I actually come up to the finished pages. So I'll just show you the next process here. Again, this will be blue. Again, usually I'll do this just with a black line, just so I can see a bit more clearer over the blues. Again, this is a process, so I'll show you another layer in a second. So this is a much tighter version of what I've already done. So if I just drop the opacity here, I'll slowly bring it up. Oh, you can see how much it's just slowly changed. Become a lot more fleshed out. There's a lot more expression in there, and adding in little background details and things like that. Usually I sort of go through 2 to 3 pages worth, 2 layers worth of pencils. So from here on in, so I'll just drop out the original one there. So here's the current one, and then on top of that, which is the one I'm currently working on, just again tightening up some of these panels. So as you can see here, I'll zoom in on there for you. You can see I've actually really changed this layer here. So what I'd actually gone and done was, I wasn't really happy with how that original design was working out. As you can see, it's pretty horrible and doesn't look very nice, and doesn't make a lot of sense. You can't really tell what's going on there. So I fixed that up here again to something that was a little bit more obvious. Here he's holding on to a piece of cloth. Again, this I didn't really feel made out. Hands are probably one of my biggest issues that I'm still working on, so I had to practice that a little bit as well. So I feel like I've got that. Again, I'll still got a touch on the hand, but the angle of it's a lot better. You can actually see that he's holding on to something. And then on top of that now, so I'm just doing the line work for that. So that's why that doesn't necessarily match up with that original line up there. And again, I'll move out here, and again it's just me tightening up lines and just making things look a bit nicer. And again, once this last layer of penciling is done, I'll drop that down to a blue, and then I can start inking. which would just be a much tighter version of what you can already see here. And then I can go into colours, usually with the line work, because it's such a simple design. I don't really need to go too crazy with details and that. Being a kid's book, I don't want to just be overbearing with a ton of line work that they've got to try and figure out what's going on and keep it nice and simple for them, and they can figure out what's going on. And also, this will be the first page that will really start bringing in some brighter colours. Obviously, so we've got some grass here, and then this is going to be the scenery, which is going to be a nice blue sky. I'll put some trees and shrubbery and stuff in there. So the world's starting to brighten up now compared to the last few pages that have come out. So yeah, that's that. So that's a bit more into my comic making process. It's pretty simple. Everything's done digitally. That's purely for a time sake. It saves me a lot more time doing it this way. I'd love to do it traditionally, but because it's a webcomic and it's a weekly publication, I want to get them out as quickly as possible. This allows me to do that. Any mistakes and whatnot, I can just fix up quite quickly. If there's anything that the writer doesn't like or the letterer wants to change up, I can generally do that quite quickly and get that back to them without wasting too much time. Doing it traditionally, I'm going to redo the panels and things like that. So for this project's sake, that's why I've gone the digital direction. With the mini comic, I'm going to go 100% traditional, and I'm probably going to do it at a much larger scale as well, and blow it down. Oh, sorry, shrink it, blow it down. That also allows me, when I do conventions, to have traditional pages that people can see, and if they want, buy as well. One of the bonuses of doing traditional work, traditional comic book work, is you can sell the finished pieces and make a little bit extra cash. But really, selling comics, you don't get a lot back from them that I've discovered in this past year. There's not a lot of money coming back into it, and any money that does come back into it just goes straight back into printing more comics and allowing yourself more time to do things like this. So having those extra things that you can sell just to give yourself a little bit more income to continue doing these projects, I think is quite important. So fortunately can't do that with The Legend of Rock, but I probably am going to look at doing the covers traditionally at least. So when we do publish the single issues, we'll have those available as well. Yeah, so that's enough for me. Just been working on that for about the past 40 minutes to an hour. I'll finish all that tomorrow. I've got to get this client work out of the way now. So again, for anyone who hasn't checked it out yet, I set up a crowdfunder yesterday. I'll be posting the details again in the description for the rest of the month, so you can check out. I'll also keep reminding you throughout the videos. Just trying to get myself over to fly over to Brisbane for the next convention, which is Oz Comic Con. I'm strapped for cash with things like bills and just a lot of debts that have recuperated. I'm still trying to pay off flights from past conventions as well. So if I can use this money to get myself over there, promote the comic a little bit more, just have a little bit of a relaxing time as well. Of course, during that time I'll still be doing these videos, so you'll also get to watch me document that as it's all happening as well. So I'll be taking a lot of video while I'm there. And two, any pledges, they're all based around commissions, so you'll also get something in return as well. If you've got any ideas, or if you want something a little bit more specific, shoot me a message. If you want some logo design or something done, let me know, and we can organise that. Just any little bit that can help me pay for my flights over there, because I don't know how else I'm going to do it at this point. And I just want to reach out to you guys, the public, to help me out, and I want to give you guys something in return for it. So thank you everyone already who's put in some pledges. I really appreciate it, and hopefully within the next month I can make my goal. So far I've already made enough to pay for my accommodation, which is awesome. So now I just need to look into those flights. That's really the big killer. So yeah, thanks guys for liking the videos, watching the videos, subscribing, and again thanks to everyone who's pledged or even just said good luck. It really means a lot to me just to get all of your support. Means the world to me. So thanks guys. Have a good night. Bye.